It's now 2003. AKAI has released the MPC1000. Sales aren't bad, they're moving pretty cool. But Roland, in the same year of 2003, has released this brand new item, the MV8000. This thing is a MPC killer. They want to take AKAI down. It even can load MPC files and samples. Now that alone should be illegal, but it can do that. It also allows you to master. Wait a minute. You can put vocals on. I can have a bridge, chorus, put vocals on top of that, mix it up, and master a track. That is new, and it's going to sell. Now, Roland had been selling the Dr. Sample SP303, and it was selling, but they discontinued it in 2005. Roland has an idea in 2005. They break out with a brand new sampler. It's the SP404, and it's going to sell. It's pretty good. It's got effects inside of it. It's easy to use. It's not that expensive, and it's actually fun to use. And you can make up tracks, and it resamples, so it's easier to make a sample lo-fi. Then it happens. While making this brand new MPC2500, bam! AKAI is bankrupt. The parent company has gone belly up, and AKAI Professional didn't know anything. They're sitting on a new machine, they got some plans, and they gotta fix it. Years later, we would find out that James Ting stole over $800 million, almost $1 billion. He goes to trial, he's guilty. His barrister, a lawyer, hooks him up, he gets a retrial. He has to put up $10 million for a bond. He puts that up. On the second day of the trial, he doesn't show up. Nobody's seen him since. Well, I guess you know how this works. AKAI's still selling MPCs. Someone comes in and buys the parent company. They're going to use it for something. And then some other guy says, I want AKAI Professional. Oh, sure, you can get that. He gets it cheap, and he's happy. There's something else going on here, and you probably know what it is. Now, there are engineers who write code for the AKAI platform, and they're writing this code. There's a problem now. They might not get paid or everything they want to get paid for, and all of a sudden, I'm seeing JJOS. Whoa, you can try it, you can pay for it, and use it. It gets popular. In 2006, AKAI Professional launches the MPC2500 at the Winter NAMM Show. The selling price is $2,800.
Hi, my name is Jesse. I'm here with AKAI, and we're going to talk about the new benefits and features of the new 2500. First of all, we took a lot of the same design that came with the 2000 and put it into the new 2500 as far as the operating system and the style of use that you use this machine for. The same still velocity sensitive pads will replace the zip drive with a new compact flash card reader that you can put up to 2 gigs in. We also have a CD burner and writer that you can burn CDs of files to and read CDs of files from. We have a new flip up screen that flips all the way up so you can comfortably sit down now and use this MPC. We also have Q-Link sliders. These can be linked to effects processing and can do real-time time stretching. 2 Q-Link knobs that we talk about here are going to be able to do any kind of real-time effects processing. It comes built in with 10 outputs, so you have your 10 outputs built in and your effects processing already built into the machine. We also have an input through button, which this allows you to actually play and sample in real time while you're doing any kind of thing with this MPC. Great for DJs and stuff like that. Another great thing that we have now is a new operating system for the MPC1000. It's a 2.0 operating system that comes with 34 new features and benefits. So this is a great machine now for live shows because we have a flush surface here. Fits in bags nicely and are both compatible with each other. So you can take files from one machine, plug it into the other, and back and forth. So that's pretty much the features and benefits. We come now with all the effects processing built straight into the machine and all the outputs built into the machine. You can put 80 gig hard drives in both these machines now. So you can put all your samples and all your shows and everything right into the machine, and it loads a lot faster. That's an optional kit. Another optional kit is the 24 minutes of sample time. That would be an EXM 128 card, and there you could get 24 minutes of sample time, which is a huge upgrade comparably to the 3 minutes of sample time from the 2000. You still got your same record gang, but now you've also got balanced outputs instead of unbalanced outputs, so you get a much cleaner signal in the studio. Still come with the SPIT if, and you get 4 MIDI outputs and 2 MIDI inputs with the 2500, whereas on the 1000 you get 2 MIDI inputs and 2 MIDI outputs. And that's pretty much the benefits and features of the new product.
Now we're going to install a hard drive on our MPC2500. I have one right here. This is my Seagate. It's a 3.5 hard drive. This is 40 gigs. Let's install it. First, I want to remove the screws. We have 2 screws to remove. One here and one here on our front panel. Now here's our blank space. This fills the space up here for our CD. We want to install CD-ROM into our MPC. So first we remove our screws. Mother screw on the right side. Okay, we have 3 more screws to remove. We have one here, one here, and one here. Now once our screws are removed, this plate on top comes right off. And the blank plate that's placed here for the CD-ROM to be installed right in here can be removed also. As you can see, there's one extra screw hole. See that hole right there? That hole lines up with this hole for right here, where the plate goes in. See? And then we're ready to install our hard drive. Now to install the hard drive, there's a little chassis built in right here. We have 2 screws to remove. One screw, the next screw. Next, we can pull our chassis out, just like that. Now watch this. This is very simple. We get our hard drive. Here's a hard drive. Put it here on our plate. Put it firmly in, and it goes right into the bank right there. See that? Next, we'll use the 4 screws that came with our MPC and screw them right here to hold the hard drive in before we place it back in to our slot like that. So now I'm screwing in the last screw right here. This is the last screw. Have all 4 screws in. Make sure they're tight enough. My hard drive's in the chassis, tight, ready to go. Next, you slide it in. Make sure it connects. So to make sure that the back, these connect right into the slot, the back here. On in. Now replace these 2 screws and the front piece. Now I'll install the last screw here on my chassis. Make sure it's firmly in. And now my hard drive's right there on the chassis, and I'm ready to go. Okay, now I want to cover up this part for my CD drive, which I'll install later on. And I want to put back on the faceplate. Make sure you line it up properly. And we're good to go. Okay, now I'm going to check to make sure my hard drive's working. I'll press mode, then I'll press pad 2 for load, and now we see our memory card, and now we see the hard drive. Now we know it's ready, and we're ready to go. So we have our Q-Link, of course, as you know, it's right there in front of us, which is always good to have. And our screen flips up now. We're back to the flip up, and this one's even better. It goes straight up and down. I like this one a lot. I remember the many days I sat with it. Of course, we have these 6 F keys, and we have the classic MPC pads, the feel, the touch. It isn't going anywhere. It's right here, and only here, actually. Now we have the record knob, which is right there too as well, for recording any kind of audio that comes in. And we have volume. Make sure that you have the proper volume going to your speakers. Check it out there. Now below that, we have our pad banks and our pad bank buttons, A, B, C, D, and they're right there. Below there, we have our f-stop. We have 16 levels, just our typical modes that we're going to use. Now under there, of course, we have our data wheel. We have the data wheel, and we also have a plus and minus button, so we can change the increments of any data that we select. And of course, we have our data pad entry. We can just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, plug it in, and we're good. Really cool. And we also have our cursor. We can get around by moving up, down, left, or right. And we have our tap tempo too as well, which is always good to have. And here we have our mode button. Press the mode, go to any mode you want to select. And here we have main, Windows, Shift, and redo and undo. And below that we have our locate. Locate anywhere within the song or sequence. And under that we have our transport section. You know, press that, record, overdub, stop, play start. They're right there in our transport section. This is a classic MPC look, of course. As you can see, the front is pretty much the same as most of them, and it's pretty cool to get around. It's very easy. Let's look at the back next and see what they got in store for us. So first, you can see we have our assignable 8 outputs, which is now permanently in there. It comes with the machine. Next, we have our record in for left and right inputs. Now above that, we have our digital in and out. With a coaxial cable, you can do digital recording. Next, we have our stereo output. This will go to your monitors, your speakers, pop them in there, you're good. Then we have our USB input. Then here we have our MIDI out. So you got 4 again, not 2. And of course, as always, we have the MIDI in, which is 2. We have a DVD drive, or CD actually, and you can plug it in right there and store data. And we also have a compact flash drive, pop it in there. We have 2 foot switches, 1 and 2. And we also have the headphone jack, always. Let's look at the specs. We've got polyphony at 32 voices, a sampler at 16-bit, 44 kilohertz in stereo. We got dynamic filtering, the dynamic resonant low-pass filter. We have memory of 16 megabytes installed. You can go up to a max of 128 megabytes. That's pretty good. And we have 256 samples. It's the max you can have on the machine. And we also have here 16 soft pads, 20 songs, 250 steps for each song, and then we have 99 sequences. Those sequences can have 99 tracks and 100,000 note capacity. That's pretty cool.